Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Professor Hassan and you are watching my channel Professor Hassan Hamayo. Today I want to discuss a very important topic, and that is vital statistics. And that topic is ignored by the students, and many questions can come in the written test, as well as the questions can be asked in the interview from the topic of vital statistics. Before starting today's important lecture, I request everyone subscribe to my channel, like and share my channel, and click the bell icon for the notifications of the next important videos. Statistics is our subject in which we collect the data and we represent data, we compile data, and we find out the mean, we find out the standard deviation, we find out different measures of dispersions, and we actually describe the data. We illuminate, we throw the light upon the main aspects of the data. We find out the central value, we find out the skewness, we check the symmetry, we find out the measure of dispersions, all these things, and then we draw conclusions also about the data and interpret the data. Actually, that is our subject, statistics. And now the topic is vital statistics. Vital means very important, essential, and that is important, that is precious for us. Today we will discuss that statistic which is very precious, which is very important, because we have the data of the human beings, we have the data of births, we have the data of deaths, we have the data of marriages, we have the data of divorces. All these things will be discussed. We will compile the data of number of births, of number of deaths, of number of divorces, of number of widows, of number of marriages in vital statistics. We will compile the data, we will study that data of human beings. All these things will be discussed in vital statistics. And if you pass the written test, inshallah ta'ala, I am with you, I am helping you, and I am trying my level best that you should pass the written test. And after passing the written test, in interview you should be there, and you will be asked from the examiner, from the supervisor, from the teacher, from the invigilator, that you will have to represent yourself, you will have to discuss what is vital statistics. And if you are standing on the whiteboard and you are taking the board marker, and you will have to discuss what is vital statistics. These are all precious important words which you can discuss over there. And now I will tell you what are vital events actually. Dear students, there are some factors, there are some events which change the size and composition of the population. There are some events which affect the size and composition of the population, of the human population. All these events are called vital events. For example, births increase the population size, that depend upon it changes the size, and deaths decrease the population size. It is also linked, it is also concerned with size. Now that question can also be asked in the written test as well as interview. Which vital events affect the size? There are two vital events which change the size of the population. Number one is births, they increase the population size. Number two, deaths, they decrease the population size. Now there are some factors, there are some events which change the composition of the population, of the human population, and these are divorces, these are the marriages. And if there is a marriage of a woman, she will be shifted to her husband's house. That is the composition. If you have migrated, actually you have gone to America, Canada, Australia, that is the shifting. You have shifted from Pakistan to America. These factors, divorces, marriages, widows, all these migrations, adaptations, these change the composition of the population. A very important question. Then what is vital statistics? As I told you in the beginning, in the introduction, we actually compile the human data. We study that data. We study the data of number of births, number of deaths, number of divorces, number of marriages. We compile the data, we study the data, and then we draw the conclusions about these things. These are the vital statistics. Then what are its uses? It's a very important one. Do you know, everyone knows birth certificates and death certificates are needed everywhere. If you want to get admission of your child, you will have to get the birth certificate. And after the death of anyone, if father or mother has been died, the distribution of the wealth will be done after getting the death certificate. It means it is very important. Vital statistics are very important. Birth certificates are needed, death certificates are needed. And many businessmen, like if after Eid ul Fitr or in the month of Rabiul Awwal Sharif, there is the season of marriages of the people, of the girls and boys, then many manufacturers, furniture makers, jewelers make their products, because that is the season of marriages. It depends upon the vital statistics, and government makes the plans for the food, for many things, for education, with the help of the vital statistics. These are essential, these are important. Then shortcomings. What are the shortcomings? In rural areas, if the people are uneducated, many births and deaths remain unregistered. That is the shortcoming. And there are many people who have their children, and the children have age 5 years, 6 years, then they are registered. There are many people, when they register their child when he is 5 or 6 years old as a birth certificate, they have the certificate of birth at that time. And the third drawback or shortcoming is that many widows show them single, many divorce show them single. That is also the shortcoming of vital statistics. Then there are two main numerical quantities which are used for the comparison, and these are ratio and rate, and these are very important. When I have two quantities of the same unit for comparison, then ratio will be used. For example, if I say 10 boys and 20 girls, it is the ratio 1:2. There is one boy, there are two girls, that is the ratio. It is used for comparisons. Number of chairs, number of couches, number of windows, number of marriages, number of divorces, all these things, it is ratio. Actually, it is A ratio B. Now, the second is rate. It is also used for comparison, and like the probability which we have discussed earlier, number of favorable over total. Its formula, which can be asked in the exam, that is A over A plus B. If I say there are 30 girls in a class, out of 50, 30 over 50 will be its answer. If you ask about the ratio, that will be 30:20, because 50 minus 30 is 20 actually. It is ratio and that is rate. We are interested in girls actually 30 and total are 50. A over A plus B. 30 is A and not 30. There are not girls, actually there are 20 boys, that is B. So what is the formula? A over A plus B for the rate. Then the types of ratio. There are important types of ratio. There is sex ratio, there is child-woman ratio, there is birth-death ratio, which is also called, and that is the question of the written test as well as interview, that is vital index. Its interpretation can also be asked in the exam. What is sex ratio? The ratio between the total number of births, the total number of males and the total number of females actually. This is the sex ratio. If answer is more than 100, then we can say that there are more boys as compared to the girls. If the numerator is boys actually, and if the answer is less than 100, it means that there are more girls than the boys. It is used. Then birth-death ratio or vital index, the total number of births registered divided by total number of deaths registered, and it is also called vital index. If the answer is more than 100, it means that there are more births as compared to the deaths. It also signifies and shows that we have increase in the population. And if the vital index is less than 100, it means that our population is decreasing. There are more deaths as compared to the number of births. Then child-woman ratio. It is the ratio between number of children under 5 years of age and the woman of childbearing age. And that question can also be asked. The childbearing age is 15 to 44 years for the woman. And I will wait for your comment for today's lecture. Assalamu alaikum.